All right, hello and welcome to League of Loggers. Tonight is episode 13 of season 4. I almost messed that up, not gonna lie. Tonight we are talking more playoffs. We are in playoffs. Tonight's matches, not tonight's matches, but the matches we will be discussing this evening was the Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses best of 5 that happened on Saturday, and then the FlyQuest and TSM extravaganza that happened on Sunday. Do we have do you want to go right to oh yeah, sorry. The people that I've got with me this evening. I got Curtis James.
Hey.
He is to this way of me, I think. The other person with us tonight, we've got Coach Slippy, aka Jeff. He should be the person down below me. Myself, I am Viking Redbeard, the one and only. Thank goodness for everyone. But yeah, so back to matches.
Yeah.
I think we should go right to the one that we were all expecting and how it was going to turn out, and with the Cloud9 and Evil Geniuses set.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a surprise in that. I mean, small surprise, I guess. It was something that I didn't feel wouldn't happen or couldn't happen, but I felt it was less likely to happen than it would have, or less likely to happen than not, kind of thing. Like the fact that EG got a win, like it was not a 3-0, and that it wasn't shocking, but it was mildly surprising.
Really? Because I wasn't.
Isn't that what
you
we
thought
all
EG
discussed last week?
Well, we talked about it a little bit, but I said I thought it was going to be a 3-0.
I thought we all thought it was going to be a 3-1, thinking that if Cloud9 was going to lose, it was because Cloud9 screwed up and not necessarily that Evil Geniuses did better.
Well, and do you think that's what happened in that game? How do you feel about the loss, actually?
No, that one was a little unfortunate. I mean, that was just kind of like a bad draft. I don't know what happened. Like they came to that round 3 match and they didn't really look good.
Kumo's Poppy looked fantastic. Because he was really good in Game 4, even though they didn't win that one. EG didn't. But, like, he was really good on Poppy, both Game 3 and 4, I thought.
Yeah, no, I think EG looked especially good that game. I thought that I thought the only way that EG won is if Cloud9 screwed up. And Cloud9 didn't really necessarily screw up. It's just they got outplayed for that one game. Gave them their second loss of the entire split so far.
Yeah.
And I mean, they recovered in Game 4, but I don't know. Like I think everyone looked good on the Cloud9 side. They let that one game get away, but I mean, in a best of 5, it's bound to happen. You can't have the perfect draft. You can't have the perfect pick. You can't have just the perfect everything always. Like they did a damn good job keeping things moving with the momentum in their favor, but they let one game slip. I'm not going to fault them for that too much.
Yeah, I mean, on the season now they are 23-2. Pretty fucking impressive.
Right. I mean, it's like I said, I expected it because the 3-1. I mean, going into it, what happened was and this is what I wanted to see. Evil Geniuses were starting to adapt. Mm-hmm. You know, I really wanted to see that. I was like, I don't want to see just a clean sweep because this is likely what we're going to see in the finals, you know, and we all know that. And that's why I'm happy I got to see them adapt the way they did in that one game. And I'm hoping that if they are like we're expecting them to be the ones in the finals with Cloud9, that they'll be able to bring that into the table. Now, do I want Cloud9 to lose overall? No. I still want Cloud9 to win. But do I want to see it go to a 5-game series? Absolutely, I do. I want to see what Evil Geniuses are going to bring to the table for next split, and I'm hoping that if they can challenge C9 at least on a decent level, that when they come in next split, we get a good split. You know, hopefully TL is on form. Hopefully Evil Geniuses keep going the way they do. C9 stays just the way they are. It's going to bring LCS up to that level. And I think, you know, especially if we do have Worlds this year, because we never know, Worlds gone crazy. But anyways, if we do have this year, I think that would allow LCS to bring something to the table we haven't before. And I really want to see LCS perform this year at Worlds. So
Well, I feel like that's getting a pretty far horse ahead, or cart ahead of the horse on things.
I mean, it is, but
yeah, as of right now, like you said, you enjoyed the adaptation from EG, them actually adjusting, and I think it was not only was it true, but it was pretty surprising to me because it felt like the game in a lot of ways was most interesting in top lane, oddly enough, because game 1. Licorice played the Ornn into the Aatrox, or vice versa. But basically, Licorice crushed that matchup into Kumo, the Ornn Aatrox matchup. And then game 2, Evil Geniuses took the other side of it. And Licorice was like, okay, sure, I'll play the other one. And he crushed him again. It was like, it's not the matchup, it's that I'm better than you. And then game 3, Licorice picked the Aatrox, and all of a sudden Kumo's playing Poppy. And that Poppy outdid Aatrox, absolutely. And I hope that it's something that I would like to see more in League in general, and I don't think teams do enough, is find, like, interesting counter matchups like that, and then actually use them. Because Poppy, like, you're not seeing Poppy at all right now, but it's like, oh yeah, if they pick Aatrox and you haven't picked top yet, you should absolutely pick Poppy. Because, I mean, and I know Licorice can play the Poppy too. He's done it before and done it very well. So now I have a feeling they're going to kind of wait on that too, and it'll be an Ornn pick. And actually Poppy's been used before against Ornn because he has dashes as well. But I think like maybe it's like, okay, well, Ornn is the safer blind pick, or maybe there's other top laners they're more willing to use blind, like maybe GP or something. But I'm interested to see how the meta evolves during playoffs, especially because of, moments like that. Now, overall, yeah, Cloud9 was the better team. They ended up getting the win 3-1, but I was happy to see some life out of Evil Geniuses. Svenskeren and Kumo stepping up pretty well. Jizuke did not have his best series, so
oh, no.
I think he's going to have to be on point to win in their finals qualifier match, because from what we saw from EG, yeah, they got a win off Cloud9, but overall I didn't think they looked great. They looked okay. And I saw at least that good of play, I felt like, in the other series. Does anybody have anything else to say about Cloud9 EG? Or I think at this point it's just Cloud9's waiting in the finals, and they look set to, win 3-1 or possibly 3-0, depending on what we see on Saturday.
Yeah, nope. I liked some of the off-the-wall picks that we got a little bit this weekend. Seeing the Echo in mid. I know that it's not super unheard of lately. I know we've seen it a little bit here and then. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to picks and bans because I never do. I just go right into the match. And I wasn't paying any attention that it was a Poppy up in the top lane until I saw the Aatrox going phew across. I was like, what the fuck just happened there? Oh, they're playing Poppy. I haven't seen Poppy in a minute.
Yeah.
Just kind of continuing on though with the uniqueness of that and everything. I just kind of want to point out that yes, we don't see that in LCS, but we do in LEC all the time. We see those interesting picks, and they're just like, oh hey, we're gonna throw this champion at you, and you're not gonna know how to deal with it. I would love to see that for LCS. I agree with you, Kurt. I would love to see this continuing. I would love to see this trend keep going on and just seeing those unique matchups and those unique counter picks, because overall I think it makes all the players better for it. So I say keep bringing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've got on that one. So I'm happy to move on to really what was the more interesting series for me, FlyQuest versus TSM.
Oh, absolutely.
And that one went all 5 games, and there was lots of little interesting things in that. I mean, first off, though, I'm really happy. My prediction was correct. Again, I said if they start solo, and I'm like, I think TSM's still like not quite trustworthy. It took him 5 games to beat 100 Thieves. Played solo all 5 games, and he looked good in the top most part. Like TSM even hard camped him game 5, and FlyQuest, I think they looked pretty damn good overall. Like, not that TSM didn't look great at times. Game 4, TSM looked fucking fantastic. Like, crushed that game. But then, like, they do just dumb shit and they lose. And their drafts are not ideal. I've got a whole bunch to say, but I'm gonna let you guys interject so I don't just ramble for 10 minutes to start.
No, absolutely. Yeah, well, okay. Like I said, Thursday, I am a low-key TSM fan. I love watching them. Don't ask me why. I don't know what it is. Broken Blade is one of my favorite top laners to watch. Dardoch, I wasn't too thrilled with him this split, but I digress. Anyways, no, I mean overall it was a good series. I do think FlyQuest should have won that though. Just the way they were playing so like they were playing better than TSM. You know, they really were. And those few games that we saw TSM actually step up, game 4 in particular, I was happy to see that. And I was like, okay, keep doing that. Do that for the next one. Womp, right on your face.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you said, the game 4 draft was aggressive and it worked out. Honestly, this is the first time in a while I've like really sat down and looked over the drafts. Really tried to like dissect some stuff out of it. Oh my gosh, did I lose my note I made? I have a note. There we go. So there's things I like picked out that just they stood out as being friggin' weird to me. And there
jungle,
and there were things that were just
I'm sorry, Trundle support.
No, not that so much. Because like that's the thing. It used to be more of a thing, but so right away, and this isn't something that was weird, but something I don't like, and I think it's something that's a problem for TSM. Their biggest priority for first round bans was banning Ornn. Ornn's really, really good. And the fact that they refuse to put Broken Blade on it, because Broken Blade has to play a carry champion of some shit, like that reminds me of the issue with Haunter. Is Broken Blade's good. He should be able to play Ornn. Like, Ornn's not like just, you know, a nonsense defensive, I sit under turret and farm champ. Like, he can win fights. He can fucking win duels. He can do really well. But they're just like, nope, we're going to first ban Ornn so that Solo has to enter a skill matchup with Broken Blade, and that's the only way we're going to win top lane. It's like, or you could give Broken Blade a really good champion that he wins the top lane without trying and also wins team fights. But nope, we're not. We're going to opt out of that immediately. And then the ban that I found really weird that they also did on first ban round every time was Syndra.
Oh yeah,
that's a
why not try to give that to
Bjergsen. Yeah, that's a Bjergsen signature fucking champion. And he was like 6-0 on it this split, some shit like that, or it was 6-0 on for Set Broken Blade and like 9-0 for Bjergsen or some shit, like some ridiculous thing, or maybe 6-3, I don't know. But it's like that's Bjergsen's freaking champ, and you are saying by not picking it that you are more afraid of FlyQuest playing it on Power of Evil and Wild Turtle taking it bot because it can be flexed into bot now. You're far more afraid of them taking that priority pick than taking it yourself. And that, like, things like that always just reek of a team that's not going to win to me. Because I made the same complaint, similar complaints, Chase will remember, about TSM a while back when they had Sven and in their bot lane, and they were banning Xayah, who was like the OP AD carry at the time. I'm like, you need to be able to play it. Like, you are a good AD carry, you're supposed to be the best in the West, you know, coming over here, and you can't fucking play the top marksman right now. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, and that's the thing, like, Syndra's a high priority champion, and they just banned it every single round. Like, I understand maybe banning it from red side, but even when they swapped and took blue side, the one game they won, they still banned Syndra. They banned Ornn and Syndra every single game. They didn't ban Rakan until the end, which finally, like, we all knew Ignar's a really good Rakan.
Yeah, Ignar was disgusting on that. Also, the Blitzcrank game, God, I was happy.
Yeah, but like, that draft priority blew my mind. Like, on the flip side, FlyQuest ban priority was Senna, Kench, and Kalista. So what you see from that is they're going, we are going to beat your bot lane by taking away what we think they're good at. We think that you need Kalista in the bot lane because she's really good, or you want to flex her top to Broken Blade. 2 birds, 1 stone. Getting rid of Senna because we think that your bot lane's good with her. Get rid of that. And the Tahm Kench, like, that we think, you know, Biofrost needs to be able to keep Kaveh alive in team fights. And they got rid of all that, and, like, TSM's bot lane never won. Like, they didn't fall way behind. They didn't get crushed or anything at any point, really. But, like, they didn't, like, run away with the lane ever. So it's like, okay, well, FlyQuest did what they were looking for. TSM was looking to stop top from winning and stop mid from winning, I guess. Well, guess what? Those happened anyway. So your priorities are wrong. And then if you look at their pick priorities, Zion Rakan for FlyQuest because they kept getting red. For whatever reason, TSM kept opting into fucking red side. That's another thing. Jet said it on the broadcast. It's like blue side has like a 63% win rate in NA this split. And TSM's like, you know what? We want red side. Do you know why red side is so bad in NA? Because the point of taking red side is to get counter picks. You get 2 counter picks because you end both draft sections. And when you're not counterpicking, you get fucked in the ass. Because, like, Game 5 was the perfect example of that. FlyQuest opens up with Set, because that was left open finally. And it's like, okay, cool, we're going to pick Aatrox into Set. Aatrox does not hard beat Set. Like, that's pretty even. Honestly, probably a little bit Set favored. Like, early lane, it's definitely Set favored. All right, then we're picking Aphelios. Okay, so now we know what your AD carry is, and we can pick something aggressive to shut him down early. Great. So they pick Varus. Because Varus fucks on every AD carry in lane. So it's great. So you just gave blue 2 winning lanes unless your support pick is amazing. Oh, they went Varus Thresh, and then they picked the Nautilus, and they say, nope, okay, cool. You gave blue 2 winning lanes. Go through the next ban phase, they start with Sejuani in the jungle. It's like, so you have 3 tops who are all about, like, getting, or your top 3 set of picks. Aatrox, Aphelios, Nautilus. They need to go in, because Aphelios is close range. So Sejuani is joining that, but like Sejuani is really good at frontlining for you and letting you stay behind her, which they're not going to do. So now you don't really have a good team identity, and FlyQuest picks Azir, who wants to have you all come in and stand back and just shred everyone. So it's like, great, Azir now counters all 4 of your picks. We're going to take Olaf, who's an early game jungler and will out-duel Sejuani, and he took 2 of her first 3 red buffs. Like, great, you drafted 4 losing lanes, and then you pick the Echo into the Azir, and he's not going to win that either. Guess what? Every single fucking matchup you picked loses. You took red side for what reason? What goddamn reason did you take red side for? And TSM does this shit. And it drives me absolutely mad. Like, you're a good team. Like, I see so many people on Reddit, especially TSM Reddit, being like, oh, Broken Blade's not actually good, blah, 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 now. Like, because they're all just pissed off, and I get it. But Broken Blade's good. I think he's good. I think Bjergsen's good. I think everyone on the team, I think Dardock's good. I think everyone on their team's fucking good. I think their coaching staff is fucking shit. Like, Parth has been their GM for years. I've been shitting on him for like 3-4 years. Chase probably remembers me bitching about Parth when he was their head coach. He needs to go. Reggie needs to stay the fuck out of things, because I'm sure he still has influence, like getting involved in coaching. Like, pisses me off that a team that has the money and the brand recognition can be run so terribly. But TSM is a prime example of how you can take a bunch of players and be mediocre, a bunch of players who should get you like to the end and be mediocre or make a run once in a while and not realize you're bad now because they were good for so long that like Reggie's like, well, it worked when I did it back then. Well, yeah, back then there was like 8 good players and you had 4 of them. Like, great. There's a lot more good players now. There's a lot of good organization. There's a reason that Cloud9 is at the top all the time. There's a reason why 2 coaches who took their teams to top 4 last year are on different teams this year, and they're top 4, and the teams they left are fucking bottom of the barrel. Like, coaching matters a lot now, because all the players are up here. It's not like there's not this giant dichotomy anymore. We don't have Dokla in the top lane anymore. Like, people are like, oh, the worst top laner in LCS is Kumo. Cool, I'll take it. Like, yeah, it was probably Viper a few days ago, but now, or a few weeks ago. But like, Kumo and Solo are possibly the worst top laners in the league. Outside, I guess, like Ruin. I would say Ruin's probably the worst top laner in the league. Him and like Hanser, but still, Ruin and Hanser are way better than Dokla. They will shit down Dokla's throat in a 1v1, and that's happening in every role in the league. So you can't just get away with these garbage drafts anymore and just pick random shit. And that's where TSM falls apart. And I have all the faith in the world that like Liquid will be better next split, because they'll figure out what their team identity is and they'll work better together and things like that, because I know they have a good coaching staff. I have no faith that TSM can finish above 4th next split. That's just what they are right now until they like detach themselves from stuff. They are going to be the goddamn Knicks of the LCS, whereas it doesn't matter how good their players are. everything else on that team is garbage, and we'll drag them down. That's my take. I'm so beyond done with TSM, and yet I have to yell at them every split for doing this shit. Ugh.
I don't know. I definitely predicted that TSM would win 3-2. Unfortunately, that is not quite how it turned out. TSM, they didn't even look good in the games that they won, in my opinion. Like they were just barely ahead of FlyQuest. FlyQuest played so well. Like I definitely did not give them the respect that they deserved coming into this, just because I was following TSM and their name and their legacy, and
legacy.
They just kind of, they really didn't perform how they should have. Like they've always been a top 3 team, and they definitely are not a top 3 team right now. And
there's a quick thing there. You say they've always been a top 3, and like, yes, historically they were. Hell, they won 3 splits in a row. But remember that they missed Worlds because they missed playoffs twice in a row. Just year ago? Not like last season, but the season before that. 2017, they didn't make playoffs at all.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they missed playoffs both splits 2017. I know that was the first time they had missed Worlds. And it's just like, okay, like, this team, we still think of them as always being a top 3, but are they? Are they a top 3 team anymore? Like, yeah, they're up there more often than other teams, but they're not there all the time anymore. And it's just like, well, shit, what are they getting credit for at this point? That they used to be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they definitely have potential to be top 3, but they definitely let it slip this split, which is unfortunate for them. Like, I mean, honestly, them losing is okay in my book. I mean, Team Liquid made it nowhere near playoffs, and TSM is just as one of those other teams that if they keep winning, I'm just going to root against them. And now I've got kind of like 2 things that happen where like TL has looked so garbage, and now TSM is starting to not necessarily look like garbage, but they're not performing to how I think they should be.
Mm-hmm.
But
and with TSM falling out, we have Evil Geniuses and FlyQuest phasing off in the finals qualifier to go up against Cloud9. Which, side note, that means we will have a new team to make it to finals, because neither FlyQuest nor Evil Geniuses have ever been in the LCS finals. So a team will have a shot at being, a first-time champion, but one team will definitely be a first-time finalist. So that's cool for both of these organizations. And really, like, from what we saw against in FlyQuest against TSM, they absolutely deserve to be where they are right now. Solo looked good in the top lane. Santorin out-jungled Dardoch, I think, pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Power of Evil, like, Bjergsen looked fantastic game 1 on that Victor, but other than that, like, I think Power of Evil looked better. The Zillion game was pretty okay from Bjergsen, for sure. He had some good moments there, but it wasn't enough to carry, whereas the Azir game in Game 5 from Power of Evil was disgusting. Like, there was actually a lot of Azir bans from TSM in second-round drafts heading up to that point, and I totally get why. It does bother me a little bit that TSM kept doing that ban from Red side. It's like, well, if you think the Azir is good, then pick the fucking Azir in first round, or, second round first pick, whatever, that R4 pick. And so, like, to take the Azir then, because Azir doesn't have a lot of hard counters or anything. He's a really good just, like, stat check champion in lane, where it's just, like, he's going to poke you and be like, oh, do I have more damage than you? Yes, I do. Oh, I have more range. Guess what? This is my lane. And he just, like, pushes the wave in on you. I hate dealing with. I'm glad I haven't seen him in a long time in solo queue, because he's obnoxious.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him more.
I think we're going to see him, like, right now in Pro. I think Azir's coming to the front. I think you're going to see possibly Poppy into Aatrox. The Syndra's gotten really popular recently because it's a flex. I don't know that the Aphelios should be played as much as it is right now in NA, but I also think that's been a product partly of the people who are playing it haven't been punished. Because one of the people who's been playing a lot is Sven. And Sven and Vulcan aren't being punished in bot lane by anyone. So it's like, well, yeah, he can just take it and go even or
Hard
win.
carry.
Yeah, he can go even in lane, which Aphelios probably
Melt
shouldn't.
Turrets too.
Yeah. Oh my god, it can melt turrets.
Melt the turret with full plating on, even like the last.
Yeah, he got through the whole last.
Even more. I was just like, they like panned away for a second to go look somewhere else, and it was like turret dropped, and they're like, oh. I guess he was able to get that turret down. I was like, ooh, he melted through that.
I think it was also because he had full chakras, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, the reason he was able to do any melt is because he got those chakram. But
chakram. That's
so the thing about it is a lot like it does. It gets very tanky. Period. When you get down to that last plate, because it's gaining bonus armor every time. The thing people forget, and like it wasn't worth mentioning from the casters just because you wouldn't think he would have gotten through it anyway, is that bonus. There's also a temporary bonus for however many people are next to the turret when a plate drops. So usually when you're doing those hard pushes, the jungler's shown up, right? Or if it's top lane jungler and mid showed up. So a lot of times you have 3, maybe 4 of your players around the turret. So each time a plate drops, it's getting this massive stacked bonus. And you notice the support went forward. So there was only the one person next to the turret, so it wasn't getting any extra bonus, just the plate dropping bonus. And so that helped keep that number low enough that his damage was able to get, like, that was really, really smart play. The bot lane for TSM is smart. Like, TSM in general, their players are smart. And they're good players, but they make bad decisions in game sometime, and I feel like they make more bad decisions before the game starts. But that Aphelios shredded through there. I don't know that it should have as high priority as it does, because, I mean, as we saw, Varus just kind of destroys him in lane. And honestly, I think teams should be prioritizing Varus, because it's been a while, but Varus is still in a state where he can be flexed mid. So pick Syndra of Varus.
Is just so gross.
Like, I would love to see a team go, and I don't know, I would have to, like, look through it really hard, see if they both get countered by some of the same shit. But if team comp-wise, if you can pick Syndra Varus and just go, well, we have our mid and our bot, you don't know which one is which. Good luck picking, characters that we're not just going to flex to the other side and go, nope, we fuck it, we win this style matchup. Because you're not going to pick something that can match by going, okay, well, this mid and bot can also flex. Like, no, you're not going to have that. You're going to pick maybe Swain Tristana or something, like Lucian and some other... Lucian Cassiopeia, I guess, would be the only other bot mid duo I can think of that could, like, easily be a flex at pro. And it's like, I doubt teams are practicing that. So practice, you're already practicing the Syndra bot probably. Practice Varus mid, pull that out. Go red side, that's my 1-2 pick on red. And like all of a sudden you just sent draft into chaos for your opponent. Especially because usually you don't want to draft your mid until later right now because it's such an important counter pick. And it's like, nah, you can't counter pick it. And we picked it early. That means we're going to get a counter pick 2 other lanes plus this one that we just put together. Like, I think those are the big brain plays I want to see out of fucking coaching staffs right now. Not, hey, let's int our draft like TSM does. But I think FlyQuest, like, they played smart around their picks. I really liked what I saw from them. Like, Rakan and Xayah was super huge priority. And we saw Ignar. His Rakan's so good. I think they're going to... Rakan's going to have to be banned, I think, by Evil Geniuses, because I don't think Zeyzal plays the Rakan nearly as well as a lot of his other, like, more tanky engaged champions. I think he's a really good, like, Braum, Kench, Nautilist. So I expect Rakan bans against EG. I'm not sure where I think this matchup is going, because I think EG is a very good team, but I think FlyQuest is looking on form right now.
Yeah, I agree, though. I would totally expect the Rakan ban Evil Geniuses against Ignar. Zeyzal could easily, I agree with you. He's so much better on his tanky champs, and that's why I love the guy. Because that's what I love to play in bot lane when I play support is my tanky stuff.
Yeah.
So, no, I absolutely agree with that. Also, I could see them just banning out like some of PoE's signature picks too in the mid lane and trying to get Jizuke to carry through. Try to get Rise or something if it makes sense on Jizuke so he can just push through, and then you just hard ban like whatever for PoE. That, and the other thing that Evil Geniuses are going to need is better mid jungle and top jungle synchronization. They really, really need that. I think FlyQuest did a phenomenal job with that. So
yeah, Evil
they
Geniuses
need to be able
really,
to match it.
Yeah, EG looked really good with that at the end of the split. Not as much so against Cloud9, but that begs the question: is it just that Cloud9's jungle mid is so good that it's hard to look good into that, or is EG faltering in that space right now?
I don't think so. I think it's just because it's Cloud9. Because come on. Niski and Blabber are so well synced together. It's ridiculous, and we saw that all split long.
Yeah,
it is absolutely ridiculous.
I expect one of those two guys to be handed MVP here on Friday. On a side note, Reaper got coach of the split. So
for
now,
the 4th time?
Yes, this is his 4th time getting it in 6 splits.
That's insane.
In 6, yeah. 6 or 7 splits, something like that. Anyway, so that means, like, if a Cloud9 member gets MVP, which should happen, I believe. I mean, unless there's a really weird splitting of votes. Like, if Someday had been on point all split and hard carried a few more games, I think Someday would have been a pretty good argument. Power of Evil was for a while, but he kind of fell off during the end of the regular season split. He's looking really good in playoffs, but that doesn't matter. Broken Blade kind of did the same thing without turning it on entirely here in playoffs. Once again, playoffs don't matter, though. And the only players who looked good basically the whole split were Blabber and Niski. But yeah, so if one of them or a Cloud9 player period gets the award, the only one who wasn't a top 10 finalist was Licorice. So 4 of the finalists were Cloud9 members. Which, honestly, it was just top 10 point getters of voting 3. But anyway, if one gets it, that means Cloud9 has swept the postseason awards minus Rookie of the Split, which I don't know if that even existed this split. I don't believe it did, because I think the only one was Johnson.
I'm going to probably argue against you for Niski. I'm going to say Sven.
I mean, I didn't say it was specifically Niski. I said Blabber and Niski are the most likely to get it.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I would even argue
Sven and Vulcan were also top 10s. You think Sven will get it?
I think Sven will, honestly.
I mean, I can see reasons to give it to him, but I don't think he'll outpoint get Niski and Blabber, because I think generally speaking they were seen as the bigger impact players on the team.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess I look more for the 80 carry, to be able to, and so that's why I'm thinking Sven. But that's just me.
But, I mean, back to the actual match we have coming up on Saturday, EG and FlyQuest. I'm really torn on this one, who I think will be better. I'm leaning into FlyQuest at the moment, just because I think they looked solid against TSM. They showed us that they have good draft priorities. And they looked the cleanest in jungle mid, which is the head-to-head matchup with EG. EG's best at jungle mid as well. My worry becomes, I think, EG has a better bot lane and FlyQuest has a better top lane, but we also saw Kumo look really good, moving to the Poppy pick. You know what? I talked myself out of it. EG 2-3, or 3-2. I think EG's bot lane is going to win one of the games for him, and that'll be the difference.
You do, okay, so do you think, or you're absolutely certain it's going to go 5 games?
I mean, I'm not certain of anything. This is guesses. These are all predictions.
Just stop it.
I think it might. I don't know. That's what I'm going to guess,
okay,
though.
Your best educated guess. Let's go that.
Yeah, the guess I'm going with is 3-2, yeah.
Okay, I agree with you on the 5-game series, and before you switched it off to Evil Geniuses, I was going to say I feel like it's going to be Evil Geniuses taking it 3-2. I agree with you there. I think it's going to be Evil Geniuses. I agree with you. I think the bottom lane is what's going to carry it through for them in one game. Uh, just because you've got Zazel and John. No, who's
Zazel
the
and
bot
Bang
lane?
in the bot lane for EG.
Bang. Thank you. But you have Zazel and Bang has been known to pop off from time to time. I think he's going to bring it, and I think that's what's going to be the difference in one of the games, and that's what's going to pull him through. So I agree with you on that, actually.
Chase, what do you think of this match?
I'm fully leaning into Evil Geniuses. I wouldn't be surprised if FlyQuest was able to make a miracle run, but where I currently think everyone sits, I think EG just sits slightly ahead of FlyQuest. But I mean, that is the beauty of best of fives. Best of fives do kind of test your skill very quickly in quick succession. So if you're not able to make the adjustments in between games, it really shows in best of five. So
yeah,
who knows?
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping EG is where it ends personally, but I would not be surprised at all if FlyQuest ends up being in the final.
Yeah,
and
you mentioned the adjustments again, and it is something I think stood out more so in this past weekend than it has the rest of playoffs up to this point. Because the win that Evil Geniuses got off Cloud9 was the Poppy adjustment top. I fully believe that was the biggest factor in that win. And then we saw TSM make an adjustment to an early game for Game 4 and win, and make terrible changes in Game 5 and lose. Like, it is that test of, like, okay, every game, can you make the right adjustments? And it tests teams a lot. And I gotta say, I think EG and FlyQuest both have definitely earned their spots as the number 2 and 3 teams in whatever order they land. I think they absolutely, at the end of the season, I don't think there's a question that they're 2 and 3. At TSM's peaks, they're better than these teams probably, but when you're talking about the game after game throughout the split or even in a best of 5 series, these two teams have shown to be far more reliable, and I think that matters a lot. So I'm happy that these two teams are here, and I'm gonna be proud of either team to make it to the final. I don't think either one's gonna win. I've got locked in a 3-1, I think, for Cloud9 in my mind. Possibly a 3-0. They may. It could be that they have some drafts just like save the hell up right now that they're just gonna bust out and go bonkers with, but they may also just go like full comfort picks. I do always think it's hard though against a team who is also good, which both of these are, to not slip up once and drop a game. So I'll say 3-1 Cloud9 right now, but we'll all make our like final picks on that after the Saturday matches, because then we'll actually know who the matchup is.
Right. No, I'm with you on that too, though. Like I said, it just depends if we see the adaptability from the winning team. If I can see adaptability in the matchup that they have on Saturday, then going into Sunday, that's what's going to determine my pick for it as well, whether it be 3-1 or 3-2. I really think you guys you're right on that though. Cloud9's going to win it, no matter I fully agree with that, but I'm still undecided if it's going to be 3-1, 3-2. So
no 3-0 in your eyes.
No. And that was just because, like I said, like I saw with Evil Geniuses. Then again, I don't know. Let's see how FlyQuest plays. And then if it's FlyQuest going into it, I might say if it's 3-0 or not. But if it's Evil Geniuses, I will definitely give it a 3-1 at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Any other things people want to talk about, honestly? I think my feeling on the split as a whole has just kind of been the teams have ended up kind of landing where they belong, including Golden Guardians, 100 Thieves, TSM now at this point, dropping off playoffs where they did. It feels about right.
See,
and
I was actually thinking about 100 Thieves. I was actually thinking about 100 Thieves when you were talking about everybody falling into it. I'd say they're even better than TSN some days.
Yeah, I mean, they went to 5 and it was really close.
Exactly.
I could see that one being flip-flopped, but like it makes sense being like, oh, they're number 5, 4-ish.
4, 5.
Golden Guardians made sense at 6. I think they're better than Dignitas and Immortals just by a bit. Those two teams, call them 7, 8. That's great. TL shit the bed. They were definitely 9. They underperformed to the point where they were number 9 and CLG was 10. Like, all of that makes perfect sense. The only thing that won't make sense is if Cloud9 ends up losing the final. Because I think EG or FlyQuest, this match, I will be shocked if a team wins and I don't feel like they're the better team. And I did feel that way slightly with TSM and 100 Thieves. And I would have been kind of surprised if TSM ended up winning again, just because, like I said, their inconsistency makes me not trust them. And it ended up being their downfall. But, you know, they totally could have been like, hey, we're going to be bad on 2 games and good on 3 games, and just kept going. I think at this point, Cloud9's kind of happy they're out, just because, you know, it could have been the one series where they don't make a shit draft that Cloud9 has to play them, you know? And then you never know what's going to happen. So, I don't know. I think I'm just ready for the last weekend of the split. I think it's going to be interesting, and then we'll be able to talk about everything in retrospect and looking forward to next split. But I've got nothing else for this week. What about you guys?
Nope.
Nope. Cool. All right. I mean, nice. You expect it to be a concise episode of Loggers when there's only the 2 best of 5s, and one's a pretty foregone result. Next week will be a little more interesting because I think we have a really interesting best of 5 on Saturday with FlyQuest and Evil Geniuses, and the finals, even if it ends up how we expect, it's the finals. Plus, we're going to have a lot to talk about, just retrospect of the season. So, everyone, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday. Until then, cheers.
Cheers.